Charlie Woods. He wasn't walking alone. A massive gallery trailed him. Dozens of reporters lined the ropes. And among them, calmly inside the fairway, was Tiger Woods himself. Hat low, arms crossed, silent. No one needed reminding this wasn't just any junior golfer. This was his son. Charlie had earned this moment. Just weeks earlier, he pulled off a gritty AJA victory that turned heads across junior golf. And then came Coral Springs, a brutal 3-for-1 playoff where he drained a clutch birdie to snatch the final U.S. junior qualifying spot. It wasn't given, it was taken with nerves of steel. By the time he teed up in Dallas, the buzz was deafening. Golf Monthly had dubbed him a dangerous wild card. NBC's analysts highlighted how his form had matured. Every camera lens was aimed squarely at him. Every swing, a headline waiting to happen. For Charlie, this was both a dream and a test. But as he stepped to the first tee, eyes locked forward and Tiger trailing just steps behind, the tone was clear. He wasn't here to be watched. He was here to compete. The walk, the demeanor, the calm, it all looked right. All the ingredients for something special were there. But no one, not even Tiger, could have predicted what followed next. By mid-morning on the 21st of July, the buzz had turned into stunned silence. Charlie Woods, after months of steady progress and hype, opened his U.S. Junior Amateur campaign with a shocking 8-11 over par, leaving him tied for 242nd out of 264 players from contender to long shot in just 18 holes. It didn't take long for the wheels to wobble. On the front nine, Charlie couldn't find fairways. Off the tee, he was uncharacteristically erratic drives, leaking left, pushed right, or landing short in thick rough. The result? 2 double bogeys and a string of bogeys that ballooned his score early. What started as a nervous stumble became a full-blown slide. Golf Monthly described it bluntly. An uphill task before day 2 even began. There was no sugarcoating this one. By the 5th hole, the gallery energy had shifted. The cheers turned into hushed murmurs. Phones came down. Cameras pointed less frequently. Everyone was watching, but now with concern, not curiosity. On the back nine, there was the slightest flicker of fight. Charlie carded 2 birdies, including a smooth 12-tee putt at the par 3 to 13th. But by then, the damage had been done. The rhythm never returned. The confidence didn't resurface. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. What made it harder to ignore was the body language, not just Charlie's, but Tiger's. As reported by Yahoo Sports, the defining visual was this. Charlie glances up at Tiger, then back down again. A quiet, weighty moment. No words, just the shared realization that things were spiraling. Charlie walked off the 18th green without celebration, without acknowledgement, just a slow walk back to the clubhouse. Cap pulled low. A round that started with fireworks ended in near silence. This wasn't just a bad day. It was a full-on unraveling. It's one thing to watch a rough round unfold in real time. It's another to break down the numbers afterward and realize just how bad it really was. NBC Sports and WFAA didn't mince words. Charlie Woods had one of the worst statistical performances of the day at Trinity Forest. Start with the driver. Charlie hit just 3 of 14 fairways, among the lowest in the entire field. And when you're playing a championship setup, starting every hole from the rough, or worse, you're already digging a hole. The fairway stats alone told the story of a round that never got started. And it didn't get any better around the greens. Scrambling the ability to save par after missing a green was nearly non-existent. Time after time, Charlie missed the target, then compounded the mistake with either a poor chip or a missed short putt. His scrambling percentage hovered in the danger zone, putting even bogey in doubt more often than not. Then came the flat stick. Putts per hole, a full stroke above the field average. On fast, firm greens like these, that number is the difference between staying in contention and sinking fast. NBC pointed out that Charlie had 35 putts while most players inside the cut line had 28 or fewer. And momentum. 4 double bogeys don't just hurt the scorecard, they shatter any attempt to build rhythm. Each time it looked like he might stabilize, another big number dragged him deeper into the leaderboard basement. In total, Charlie finished 12 shots behind the projected +2 cut line for match play. 12! That's not a stumble, it's a collapse. By the numbers, he didn't just struggle. He was outclassed. And that cut line, it got further away with every single swing. As Charlie Woods walked off the 18th green at Trinity Forest, the cameras didn't just follow him. They panned immediately to the man trailing behind. Tiger Woods, hat low, arms crossed, eyes fixed straight ahead. No words, no reaction. Throughout the round, Tiger walked every step inside the ropes. But what stood out wasn't his presence. It was his silence. In past appearances, we've seen him crouch beside Charlie, offer tips, fist bumps, even laughter. But on this day, the usual support system was eerily quiet. There were no pep talks, no whispered encouragements, just the sound of gallery murmurs and cleats crunching on Bermuda grass. Multiple reporters picked up on it. Yahoo Sports described Tiger as visibly tense but composed, while Golf Monthly noted his expression never changed even after Charlie's fourth double bogey. That stillness, that unreadable look said more than any words ever could. And maybe that's what made it all feel heavier. For once, it wasn't just about a struggling teenager on a big stage. It was about what this moment symbolized for them both. A generational torch flickering in the wind, the greatest golfer alive watching his son falter in front of the world. Not as a coach, not as a cheerleader, just watching. Commentators speculated that the pressure may finally be cutting both ways. Tiger has done everything to shield Charlie from the expectations. But how do you escape a name like Woods when it's stitched on your bag and your dad is 3FT behind you every step of the way? And Charlie? He glanced back at Tiger after multiple bogeys. A look not of panic but of uncertainty, as if asking silently, "What now?" Sometimes silence says more than any outburst ever could. Day 2 at Trinity Forest brought clearer skies, lighter winds, and one last shot at redemption for Charlie Woods. And to his credit, he came out swinging. His second round, a 74+3, was tighter, steadier, more composed. The erratic double bogeys were gone. The body language looked firmer. But in the unforgiving world of championship golf, improvement doesn't always equal survival. The final tally, +14 across 2 days. Charlie missed the match play cut by a staggering 12 shots. The line stood at +2, and his name wasn't even close. NBC Sports called it one of the most high-profile exits of the week. Not just because of his last name, but because so many believed his game was finally ready to speak for itself. That belief didn't come from hype alone. His Coral Springs playoff earlier this summer, where he birdied the final hole under intense pressure, showed a level of poise beyond his years. That was the version of Charlie Woods the golf world hoped to see this week. Focused, fearless, free. Instead, they saw a player still figuring it all out in the harshest spotlight of match junior golf conversation forever. When the first tee shot was struck at Eagle Trace, nobody knew it would all come down to 3 names, 1 number, and 1 nerve-wracking playoff. But by the time the scorecards were signed, the tension was suffocating. All 3, Charlie Woods, Matthew Moriliano, and Oscar Crowe, finished the round at 171. That's not just respectable, that's survival mode under pressure. But here's where it gets real. It wasn't a cakewalk. Eagle Trace wasn't forgiving that day. The Florida heat was brutal. The greens fast and moody and the stakes sky high. This wasn't just another round, just it was a career checkpoint. Charlie started solid but wasn't making headlines on the front 9. It was his back 9 grind, steady pars, a laser approach on 15 and a birdie on 17 that pulled him into the fight. It wasn't flashy. It was surgical. Moriliano, on the other hand, had been methodical all day. No mistakes, no meltdowns.